Welcome back to another dad life video here. My name is Kevin. I'm a new dad, new parent. So documenting this whole process, that's kind of what this channel has been about. It's, learning from our experiences and kind of serving also as like a video archive of just our life as new parents. So today's video, honestly, is our tips and tricks and stuff we wish people would have told us about dealing with a newborn. Our daughter was born earlier this summer, so we're still freshly in that newborn phase. So these are our tips, our tricks, stuff we wish we would have known. Sidebar, if you're into hiking, backpacking, camping, generally being outside, you want to see me screwing around with my brother a lot, check out my other channel, Schill Brothers Outdoors. It's all things backpacking, being outside, and having a good time. First obvious trick of dealing with a newborn is, okay, so when they start crying, all right, there's a couple reasons why. The most obvious reason is they're hungry. Okay, that's an easy one to fix, feed the baby. The next reason is maybe they need their diaper changed. Although I will tell you, our daughter does not seem to care whether she's laying in her own filth all day. I don't know, but that's one thing you can check off the list. The other reason is they could want to be held. What I'm getting at is a huge trick, and I'm gonna get the obvious one out of here, is strategically use a swaddle sack and a pacifier. The swaddle sack I call the baby straitjacket, but it really does shorten down the duration of her just super pissed off bouts. And I've experimented with this. They want to like move around and stuff. When you swaddle them up, it puts them more in like the womb feel and they shut up. And then if you throw a pacifier on top of that, it's golden. So I didn't even know a swaddle sack existed before I had a kid. I don't know if it's a new thing, but swaddle sacks and pacifiers, use them. Don't necessarily listen to what people say. People will tell you, don't use a pacifier until X amount of time. Don't listen to that. Use it if you have to. Brings me to point number 2. You're gonna get a lot of opinions from people. You're gonna get differing opinions from even different medical professionals. Do what you need to do. We were told, don't use a pacifier for the first 2 weeks. We were told, don't bottle feed in the first month. We didn't break one of those rules, we broke the other one. Because we were told, hey, you can use a pacifier right away. Buy another doctor. Use the pacifier. If you need to use a bottle, use a bottle. Do what you need to do, but just know everyone's gonna have an opinion, and even different people in the medical field that are professionals at this might have different opinions, but do what you need to do. Use the pacifier if you have to. Use a bottle if you have to. You gotta maintain some level of sanity here. Another trick, and I'm gonna do an entire video on our schedule, but something we instituted from day one is be as efficient as possible with your time. And what I mean by that is, especially during the first couple months, you do not need 2 people to watch this thing. Assuming you have a normal baby and both the parents are capable, you don't need 2 people to watch an infant. So be as efficient with your time as possible. And what I mean by that is, if someone's watching the baby, the other person's sleeping. And what that means is oftentimes I have to force my wife to sleep. Literally, it's 4 in the afternoon right now and I'm forcing her to sleep. For the first couple months, this baby's gonna go 2, 3, 4 hours between feeds, which means, combined, no one's getting a full night's sleep for the first couple months. So be hyper efficient with your time. There are a couple hours during the day, like between noon and 3, where both of us are doing stuff, so no one's sleeping, but like I cannot tell you how many times I've had to force my wife to sleep. And a lot of people will be like, I can't nap. My wife was kind of like that, but when you get sleep deprived enough, you'll be able to nap. Don't worry about it. So the tip here is just be as efficient as possible with your time. And that doesn't necessarily even need to be someone sleeping all the time. So for instance, my wife's watching the baby, I'm going to get groceries. My wife's watching the baby, I'm doing chores around the house, or I'm cooking dinner. Just be as efficient as possible with your time. And of course, spend an hour or 2 or 3 hours a day max with just you guys and your baby. Do that if you want to. I'm not trying to poo-poo that, but I preach efficiency, and that's just one way you can get through this initial time is someone's watching the baby, the other person is doing something else that's productive, that's sleeping, that's doing stuff around the house, prepping meals. Just be hyper efficient with your time. I cannot stress that enough, and that has helped us tremendously. Another tip is have what I call baby zones. Have multiple of them throughout the house. And a baby zone I kind of define as an area where you have a place to change the baby, that has spare diapers, that has spare clothes, and has wipes. And have an area like that in your bedroom or wherever you're sleeping with the baby. Have an area like that in the first floor, and maybe even have another area throughout the house, because you're gonna be moving around your house and stuff, and if you gotta change the baby, whatever, it's nice to have what I call multiple baby zones throughout the house, if you're able to. And it doesn't have to be ornate. It can literally be just a changing pad and some spare diapers. But have that throughout the house. It's just gonna make your life a lot easier. Speaking of diapers, here's a pro tip that no one ever told me until after I was out of this phase. For the first couple months, definitely the first month, you're gonna be changing diapers with a high degree of frequency, like every 2 to 3 hours. You can get cheaper diapers, Target brand. You don't have to get Pampers or Huggies. Get cheaper diapers. You're gonna be going through them so fast. I mean, you can get diapers that cost half the price as other diapers. Get the cheaper ones when you're going through them a lot, especially when you get to the overnight stage, or when you get to a point where you're not changing diapers as frequently. Maybe consider the more expensive ones that trap stuff better. But that first month, man, get the cheap ones. You're gonna be burning through one every like 2 hours, so get cheaper ones. Always, always, always have spare onesies or spare outfits on hand, always. That goes with the multiple baby zones things, but they blow out constantly, especially when they're younger, when the poop is very watery, they're gonna shit themselves a lot. So just have multiple onesies on hand, like all over, and have multiple like your clothes, because you're gonna get it on you too. That was one thing the first couple weeks, like I was running all over the house trying to get her, an extra onesie that she crapped on, or trying to get me a change of clothes because she peed on me. But just have that stuff on hand, especially if you have like a diaper bag set up. You want that in a diaper bag too for when you're traveling, but just have spare stuff on hand. You're gonna go through a lot of stuff because you're gonna get poop on you. Little pro tip here that the nurses taught me. When you're changing the diaper, put another diaper underneath them first. It kind of goes with the theme that they poop a lot and they poop all over you a lot, they poop all over themselves a lot, but slide another diaper underneath them before you change out the dirty diaper, so you can double up, because you're gonna get poop everywhere. There are a bunch of what I call essential little items for dealing with a newborn. I'm not gonna go through all of them in this video. Check out, I did a video on that. I'll link it right up there. But take a look at getting some what I call essential items that are gonna make dealing with a newborn a lot easier, but I'm not gonna go through them all in this video. Another tip, additionally to having another diaper underneath them, is maybe consider putting a changing pad under whatever they're like napping on. Now your bassinet is probably gonna have a cover you can remove and wash. You don't have to worry about that, but like the Boppy Lounger, the Dockatot we put her in, she's pooped all over it numerous times and we always have to wash it, which is fine. But what we do now is we literally just lay her a lot of the times on a changing pad on there, so that when she inevitably takes a dump all over herself, we don't have to wash the big thing she's been sleeping in. You just take the pad out and wash that. So we got smart, She was taking a dump all over what she was napping in all the time. We were always having to wash that and change it out, but now, put a poop pad under her. So that's it. As you can tell, there's a lot of poop related things here, a lot of poop related stuff. That is our tips, our tricks, our little minute things no one ever really told us about having a newborn. I really hope it helps everyone that's watching this. When we decided to have a baby, it's during this COVID pandemic, there wasn't a lot of resources. All the classes were canceled. We watched some YouTube videos, and I'm hoping that our experience helps other people. So that's it. If you like this video, consider subscribing. If not, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, dads and moms.
Murray, this is not for you, right? You know that at some point in this baby's life, you're gonna have to actually let her use the thing that we got for her, right? It's not all about you, Murray. You know? It can't always be about you. Stop stealing the baby stuff, Murray.